Hello everyone and welcome to the Kentucky Speedway for the running of the Rockstar Energy 400 here in the Sundrop Cup Series. 35 drivers out today looking for that win here at Kentucky in the 14th race of this 26 race season. We have 5 races to go if you include Kentucky until we hit the chase, and drivers are scrambling to try to make it and lock themselves in. Brady Burkhardt, who's been on a decline the last few races, now only sits 17 points over Brandon Morris in second, and Jay Jefferson 36 points back in third. Matty Porta sits fourth in the number 20, who just announced he will not be returning to the Sauber Racing Team entry next season. And Diego Yepes sits in fifth. But you got a lot of guys around that cutoff spot, including DJ Curtis, Dusty Neal, Austin Murray, Cody Goforth, Carson Bowers, Stephen Wallace Jr. fighting in there. But you also got Colton Lane and Larry Hagan hoping that guys like Foster, Neal, Friesen don't drop out of that top 10 because they might not be able to snag a wild card. Looking at some of the drivers in the grid, Tim Foster starting on pole and on an oval for one of the first times this season. Nice to see him out here after he had a pole at Old Spice. And Logan Cloud in second for Monster Motorsports. So let's see what he can do in that 50. DJ Gibson rolls off in third. This is one of the best cars on the grid, especially after Logan Bradley and Christian Vargas drove it so well while DJ was recovering. DJ trying to make his way into the chase. It's going to be a long shot. He's 24th in points, but he can still snag a wildcard spot because he has that injury waiver. Larry Hagan in fourth is one of the drivers in the wildcard position. He's 17th in points and dropping rapidly. Has to hope that he remains top 20 to have a shot at the chase. And there's points leader Brady Burkhardt rolling off in fifth. Back in sixth is Jay Jefferson, Colton Yo in seventh, Antoine Smith eighth, Carson Bowers ninth, and Cody Goforth in 10th. Goforth not returning to North Border Motorsports next year. Alex Beniaco, Gatlin Downey roll off there. Riley Spurleytube's in the 61 this weekend after DNQing for the first time this season at Old Spice. That was the only second race of the season where we had drivers go home. Curtis and Porter running up in that row. A bit further back is Morris in the number 55. You got Sebastian Kuklon in the Rockstar Energy colors for this Rockstar Energy 400. He starts pretty much mid-pack. And other contenders back here, Colton Lane, Jacob Edson, Stephen Wallace Jr., Ryan Butcher, all trying to turn their pitiful seasons around, basically. There's the 87 and Nikki Morris. It's a GoDaddy paint scheme in the pink colors this weekend. Nikki, a hometown driver, home state driver, as well as Gatlin Downey, who starts further up. Diego Yepes in there. Joseph Sirgley Racing, you see up in front. The 63 is Jose Perez, and then you got Joseph Sirgley in the 33, and it is the 36th this weekend of Max Anderson. Let's see if Max can do the same thing he did at Nashville. Get them a top run. DeLello, Lotus Disparito, and Carter Friesen roll off last. Friesen is one of the drivers sitting 7th in points with 1 win. Has a shot at a wildcard spot, but he needs to really pick it up this race. Hope he finishes towards the front. We're going to go ahead and get ready to go racing. Going to head down track side for the commands to fire the engines here at the Rockstar Energy 400 at Kentucky.
Drivers, start your engines!
With that, the engines are fired. We're ready to go racing here at the Rockstar Energy 400. 35 cars rolling off for 81 laps. Tim Foster and the 50 of Logan Cloud on the front row. In row 2, you got the number 53 Gibson, the 21 of Hagan, then Burkhardt Jefferson, Colton Yo, and Antoine Smith, Carson Bowers, and Cody Goforth, your top 10. 35 cars in this event. We're ready to see some great racing here at Kentucky. We'll see if we can find a repeat winner here. Riley Spurleytube won here a couple years ago in the Mountain Dew Custom Series in season number 2. Peter Onjak, of course, got his first and only win in the first 4 years of the NSDCA right here as well in the Mountain Dew Custom Series in his championship season. So you got some MDCS race winners here fighting. I believe the trucks have come here before. The race winner eludes me at this time, though. But Tim Foster and Logan Cloud out in front. 35 drivers. It's sure to be chaotic. The outside line might be the better opportunity to hold and defend your pass as you go by through here turns 1, 2, 3, and 4. On restarts, it might be better to go to the inside. But as the race progresses, the tires get older. The outside might be better. Coming down to take the green flag. We're going to get that green, and we are racing. Green flag is in the air. We're racing at the Rockstar Energy 400. Pack barrels down the back straightaway. That you're going to see this a lot on this opening laps here. 2 and possibly 3 wide racing, maybe even 4 wide, but that's when it gets real dangerous here at Kentucky. The track's wide, but not very wide. They're already making contact in the back here, but it looks like for at least lap 1, they're going to keep it as clean as possible. The top 2 pulling away as they are 3 by 3, a couple rows deep back here. And now DJ Curtis is going to send it 4 wide. Slides up near Jefferson. Alex Benyako tries to just fit into that hole there as they come off of the corner, and they are still 3 wide through this pack. But up front now, Burkhart has cleared them. Hagan trying to work it. Gibson to the very outside. Don't think it's going to happen, though. Yo on the inside. Jefferson right up the middle. That's a better line as well. The middle line could carry more momentum, and you don't risk heading up into the marbles. Battle for the race lead, though, as Logan Cloud in the 50 is already going to look to the inside of Foster. Now it's going to be the inside versus the outside. You're going to see the power that the 40 can carry coming off of the corner, and it's going to be a big amount of momentum shifted to that 40 car. And Burkhart in the 99 ran that outside line. He's going to catch up to Cloud as Cloud was a bit slower as they go. Jefferson now clear into 4th. Battle for 5th raging on between TSR drivers Hagan and Yo. Look at Alex Benyako in the 29, putting that Ditech car already inside the top 10 after starting, I believe, only 11th, but still a great start to this race. He's moved up a couple spots. Carson Bowers dropping back a bit. Antoine Smith has really dropped back a bit. He's already free-falling through the field into the middle 15s there. Diego Yepes charging through the field in that number 77 as he's there. You see Morris, the second place in points in that Valvoline 55 back here as well. But you're going to see a lot of people just trying to make some moves, trying to go where they can, because that outside line is a bit better, but you can still make passes almost anywhere on this racetrack if you try hard enough. And there you see Burkhart now going to drive right up to the back of Foster. Brady has not won a race this season. 13 races. He's been the dominant driver the whole season. 8 top 10s, but really those 8 top 10s came within the first 10 or 11 races, because the last few weekends he has not been doing good. But here he comes now with a charge on Foster coming off the corner. Can he make the pass work? And that he will. New race leader. Give it to the 99 of Burkhart as he comes across lap 6 of 81, and he is your new race leader at Kentucky. Short-lived start to the race for Tib Foster, but he's not too big of an oval guy. Here we go, a flyby coming out of the corner, or coming through turn 2 there. Anderson Reed actually into the wall in that 1 car at the back. We'll go ahead and take a quick look at him, and that's going to drop him back a ton now. You see Joseph Sergli Racing's cars, and Joseph Sergli the 33, Jose Perez in the 63 now held up by that. They're dropping back as Anderson goes for a charge to the front. Jacob Edson in the 82, he's been re-signed to Shade Burkhart Racing, but he is back there now. And you got 3 wide up here. Kukulon, Butcher, and Eves about mid-pack going 3 wide for it. Further up, they're really close in 3 wide. You see Cody Goforth trying to rip the lip on the very outside. It's going to carry some momentum. He will actually clear all 3 of those cars, so you see how much better that outside line could be as you run. But Foster now starting to drop back as Cloud has picked up 2nd. Jefferson looking for 3rd. And as we said, the outside line can get it done, but it's not the be-all, end-all, and you see that with Foster, who has kind of dropped back a little bit now. You got to know how to actually run that outside line and, you know, get that power down off the corners at the opportune times, and it doesn't look like that 40 car is doing that. He's still inside the top 5. Don't get me wrong. That's still a great run for them right now, especially for drivers that are on the edge of the cutoff. He's 8th in points right now, only about 13 points or so above the 11th place driver, but Foster with that sub-drop 500 win, he wants to get back into victory lane right now, running in the 4th position as he has fallen back early in these stages. Now Jay Jefferson to the inside of Cloud. Jefferson finished runner-up here in season number 2 of the Mountain Dew Custom Series to his own rookie driver in Riley Spurleytube. So Jay does know how to get it done. Plus, it is a 1.5 mile oval. Jay is very strong here on these tracks this season. So now this 48 car now is trying to contend with the 50 and the 99 and the 40. Burkhart just trying to win his first race of the season as Jefferson chases him down. Cloud into 3rd, Foster 4th, DJ Curtis looking for 5th, but you see Hagan just throws it in. It's going to carry a ton of momentum. Now there's Peter Onjak. He hasn't really had much luck at this track since he won a couple back in the inaugural season. Contact at the back. I saw that happening for a while. Austin Murray, Max Anderson, I think, got together, got into Jacob Edson. We'll get a replay as soon as possible on that one. But, geez, that's some major contact in 91. And Austin Murray, 11th in points right now, is right on the edge of the cutoff, trying to make the chase. Now Jefferson has caught the 99 of Burkhardt. They're fighting for the race lead. Curtis clearing to 5th as the field comes down the back straightaway, starting to get spread out here at Kentucky. But that is big for Austin Murray with that damage that could affect his car for the rest of this race. Jefferson now ripping that outside line, trying to get the momentum, looking for the crossover on Burkhardt, has the momentum, tried to get to the bottom, has to go on the apron. That's usually you could cut down to the apron and possibly cut some of the track, but it is a bit slower to really do that here at Kentucky. But Jefferson is going to get some momentum once again, coming back after the 99 of Burkhardt. Down the back straightaway, here comes Jay Jefferson, looking for his 3rd win on the season and to take himself out of the tiebreaker for most wins on the season. Again, we had 10 drivers to start this season. 10 different drivers won races until the 11th race at Texas World, where Jay became the first repeat winner. Then Morris became a repeat winner at Nashville, and then Porta won last time out at Old Spice. So now we're looking at possibly a streak of repeat winners this season as we head closer to the chase, and these guys try to get as many points as they can heading into that. Jefferson now a bit slower. His Cloud is all over the back of him. He's on the back, pushing him around that corner, but it's not going to happen. 13 of 81 complete here at Kentucky. Burkhardt, Jefferson, Cloud, Curtis, and Foster, your top 5. We're going to go ahead, take a quick commercial break here as we continue through this event. Bring you guys back to the action here at the Rockstar Energy 400 at Kentucky right after this. Back live here at the Rockstar Energy 400 at the Kentucky Speedway. A couple laps later, nothing much has really happened except DJ Curtis has now caught that top group, trying to fight with them as Curtis fights in that 4th position. Tim Foster back in 5th. Jefferson and Cloud have been taking a couple stabs at Burkhardt, but just haven't been able to get up there recently. But now they've closed the gap once again as Jefferson wants to go up there for 2nd. Cloud has not won this season. He's only been back for 3 rounds, but he's ran very well in those 3 rounds. 35th in points, so I mean, because he only has ran 3 rounds, he's at the back, but an average finish of 12.67 would put him 4th in the standings if he did run this full season. Of course, he does not have an injury waiver for the chase, so no matter what, Cloud will not be in the fight for the championship this season, but he's just happy. You know, he took some time off to get his head together, get back into the racing spirit, and now refreshed, reinvigorated, and running inside the top 5 for Monster Motorsports as Jefferson now has caught the 99, and these two are probably the fan favorites for the championship this season. Burkhardt has no wins, but he has been deadly consistent to start off the year, and Jay Jefferson with 2 wins on the season. He's going to get right up to the back of Burkhardt, following him up the track, all over the back of him, man. But Jefferson is strong in trucks. He's looking to actually take both the truck and cup titles this season, which would be the first time someone would sweep championships in the same year, as well as would be the first repeat truck and cup champion if it did happen. One driver looking to make history this season, however, is Carson Bowers. He had a pretty poor start to the season, but the last few races, he's been rattling off top 5s and is now only 13th in points after being 22nd, I believe, as far down as 22nd for a majority of the season. But Carson Bowers back here in 7th has really put a spark under that 25 team. They've been very excited to be out here racing and trying to make the chase. And if he does make the chase and wins the championship this year, he would be the first driver to have all 3 National Series championships under his belt. Plus, he would be the first driver to go back-to-back in championships in 2 years. But right now, Bowers in 7th hasn't really been a race-winning contender since Texas World and Nashville. Those are the only 2 basically this season he has been, but Jay Jefferson trying to chase down Burkhardt. Burkhardt in 1st, Jefferson 2nd, Cloud 3rd, Foster 4th, and DJ Curtis sits 5th. Curtis is another driver we got to talk about. His season has gone from bad to worse. Or I should say from good to bad to worse, as he was running very well to start the season, was close on wins. The next few races, maybe around race 8 to race 9, it was kind of mid-pack runs, but the last few weeks have not been good. He's been involved in some incidents. He's had poor finishes, and he's starting to free fall through the point standings back to the 9th position. Right now in the 5th position today in that number 5, trying to keep that speed, keep that consistency up for this race, and hope that maybe his pit stops can go well, this race can possibly go green because he would be able to stay inside this top 10. Looking further back, there's Matty Porter. Colton Lane is charged through the field. Colton Lane and Diego Yepes both have. Really, Yepes started this race from the 30th position in the 77, and Colton Lane from the 23rd position. These two sit 10th and 11th currently. Colton Lane, one of the drivers that is right now holding one of the wild card spots. He's 15th in points, but Diego Yepes 3rd in points, charging his way through the field. Or 5th in points, sorry, charging his way through the field after a great run at Old Spice. Actually gained him 5 spots in the point standings. That's how close it is so far this Cup Series season with a smaller group. But Yepes now is going to make that move for the 10th position. He's on a charge to the front, and he's a very strong speedway racer. He's looking to win this race because it would be his second on the season and would be another repeat winner in this streak of 3. But Yepes is a very scary driver. He's in Butcher Gatorade Motorsports, which he will not be returning to next season. So this possibly could be one or his only chance to take home a championship in the Cup Series currently for the near future. So he's trying to do that. It's been a very strong run for Butcher Gatorade Motorsports, and actually, as they sit right now, they've won 3 of the last 6 races, and each of them came on the odd numbers. So they won the 1st, 3rd, and 5th of the last 6 races. That being said, as Jay Jefferson has actually taken the lead away from Burkhart, now Jay Jefferson, your new race leader for Texas Star Racing. But as we were saying with Butcher Gatorade Motorsports, if the pattern was to continue, Morris or Yepes are taking this race win home today. It's going to be hard to hold off or catch up even to this 48 and 99 if this race does go green. You see the distance there. These two go down into turn 3 there, and Yepes is right there, and Morris even further back than that. There he is right there, just out inside the top 15. So it'd probably take a miracle for Butcher Gatorade Motorsports to go back to victory lane. However, the same could be said. We could make this a Toyota trend where it's every other race, because Butcher Gatorade Motorsports are the only Toyotas to win this season, and they've won those 3 races in that pattern. So if Burkhart could win today, that could mean another Toyota pattern there emerges. Peter Onjak moving that 44 into the top 5. Andrado running very strong today in 4th, 5th, and 7th as they run right now. Great run for that Dodge team, the Dodge Alliance with Texas Star Racing. Jay Jefferson up in the 1st position, and I believe Larry Hagan just inside this top 10. He's in 8th. Yepes now up to 9th as he passes Porta, and I believe Colton Yo, as Morris is going to throw it 3 wide. What a daring move by that Valvoline driver if we can get to him. But now he's going to try to make a move on Neal, and that could be a 2-for-1 deal right there if he can clear Dusty Neal into the corner, and he's looking for it. Another driver on the move through the field. Look at Carter Friesen now breaking his way inside the top 15 as he's going to move around to Yo and Austin Johnson. Friesen started this race last. It wasn't from inspection failure. It was from just being slow in qualifying, and right now this 85 team inside the top 15 as they run, trying to get that car maybe into race victory lane here at Kentucky. Alex Maniaco, also give him a shout out, 12th right now for Ditech Motorsports. Onjak is starting to charge through the field. He's up to 4th as he clears himself around Tim Foster. 30 of 81 complete, most likely coming up to pit stops. Again, we don't have the data this weekend really for either race series, so I'm not sure when the pit stops will be. But if they can continue on around here like this, and Yepes now is moved his way into the 8th position as Porta's going to drop back to 10th. But Yepes is on a charge, on a mission. If he gets a good pit stop, he might be a race competitor here in that 77 car as Cloud now chases down Burkhart. But as I was saying, if these guys can make it to about lap 41 on one before coming in, they should only have 1 lap they need to come in before the well, it'd be a 1 pit stop race is what I mean there. I don't know what I was saying before then. However, Jefferson is starting to pull away. Burkhart in 2nd, Cloud in 3rd, Onjak up to 4th. 2 drivers that these top 3 now have to worry about. They've been pretty much in a league of their own today, but Peter Onjak is on a charge. He's drove his way silently through the top 10. And now into the 4th position, now charging up on Cloud in 3rd. But another driver is, you cannot deny the speed in that 77 car right now. Diego Yepes. Burkhart's put the fastest lap of the race. The top 3 have had the fastest lap of the race. But Diego Yepes has ran competitive lap times. He's ran as fast as Burkhart in these last few laps. So exactly the same as Burkhart last time by, so he's really throwing it on through. There's Foster going to the inside of Curtis. They're fighting dogfight back there for that 5th position as we run. But if we can't get this race to go green a lot longer, it could be an opportunity to see some great racing and some great battling through these green flag pit stops that'll occur. Up in front, though, Burkhart fighting right back at Jefferson. Wants to lead heading into the pit cycle as he is on the bottom of Jefferson. Let's see if he can dive it into turn number 3 in that 99. Onjak's going to throw it in the 44 under the 50. Burkhart's not going to get it, but Onjak will, and Peter Onjak has been shot out of a cannon. They have a very strong long-run car, it seems, and he is now into that 3rd position, looking for 2nd on the 99 of Burkhart as they come on through, and we'll see if he can actually take that position away. Looking to the very bottom, Cloud's going to have some momentum on the outside, but he's not going to have anywhere to take it, and now Peter Onjak in the 44 is looking to the inside there, looking for that 2nd position on the 99 of Burkhart. Cloud on the outside in 3rd. Maybe Onjak will be able to hold it on the inside, might not be able to completely, especially with Cloud being up there now. He's going to slam the door on Cloud, though, and drag race down the front straightaway. Brady takes it that lap, but Onjak is not giving up, looking for that 2nd position. Dodge has been dominant in the NSDCA this season, as Cloud is going to take them both there back into 2nd. Now Peter might be able to actually dive back to the inside of him, so these guys are battling hard. That's bringing Curtis back into this. Caution is out on the racetrack. We got a big crash down here. Dusty, Neal, Colton Lane, Carter Friesen, Stephen Wallace Jr. all in it. And Onjak clears into 2nd. 36 of 81 complete. Most likely they should pit this time, which now will throw a wrench into plans as these guys might actually, run out of fuel on the way back around or at the end of this race. But 4 cars, heavy damage to all of them. And that is 3 drivers in a chase berth hunt. Colton Lane is one of the wild card drivers. Dusty Neal is 10th in points, right on the cutoff. Carter Friesen also was near the cutoff, and Stephen Wallace Jr. 14th in points, so he was close enough. So that is 4 drivers torn up in this one, and that was a big hit to all of them. We're going to hope and make sure that they are okay, but Jefferson leads the field on down with Onjak, and it looks like we won't be having those green flag pit stops. We'll be having some yellow flag pit stops here for the first one at Kentucky as we come on around, and it looks like if you stay out here, it's a pretty dumb decision, and that will be the whole field coming on in. So we're going to go ahead, take a look at Jay Jefferson's pit stop here as they come on down, and you'll see a lot of the team's pit stops actually. But there's Jay Jefferson going to bring it on in. Most likely you go 4 tires and fuel. There's nothing else really you can do. You don't want to play strategy on lap 36, especially when you still have probably half a race to go. But here comes Jefferson now. They're going to go around to the left side, put those 4 tires on it. Peter Onjak coming back out immediately, but it looks like it's going to go to Jay Jefferson there in the 48. He will lead these guys back out. Onjak in 2nd. Curtis up to 3rd. Foster 4th. Yepes is now 5th as Burkhart and Cloud both have some horrible pit stops. And that is going to change the outlook of this. Joseph Strigley might have picked up some spots there, some major spots there over some. Oh no, that's the 63 of Jose Perez. So that makes a bit more sense that team, the more funded team, would than the 33. But now Curtis and Foster picked up spots. Diego Yepes is 5th, so Onjak and Yepes, 2 of the fastest cars at the end of that stint, are now going to be right there with the top guys of Jefferson, Cloud, and now Burkhart. And it's hard to pass here. You saw when the field started to string out, the tires got older, it was really hard to pass. You really had to work at it for a couple laps, so Burkhart might have just lost this race there. He still has some time. I mean, there's still over half the race to go. But he could have just lost that there. Bowers maintains a top 10. Morris into the top 10. Butcher's up there. Benyako fell back a little bit. Jose Perez inside the top 20 is nice to see. Cody Goforth, DJ Gibson have kind of fallen back from where they started. Same with Antoine Smith. Whole field's pacing on around. It looks like the only 4 out of this one are the 4 that were involved in that crash. Austin Murray, after an incident early on, they buffed out the side of that 91 car, as you see, so it looks better. So we'll see if he can continue on in this one, maybe picking up some spots. Jefferson, Onjak, Curtis, Foster, and Yep as your top 5. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out this big caution here at Kentucky. Early incident here, Colton Lane in the 05 coming down the front straightaway. He's going to head over to the start-finish line, and the tire's going to go down on him, and he's not going to be able to turn. It's going to send him straight into the outside wall, bounces him off, and spins. Sadly, this is back into traffic. Carter Friesen with a vicious hit. Dusty Neal as well. 2 hard hits for Colton Lane, and Stephen Wallace Jr., you know, he had nowhere to go. Slides into Dusty Neal. All 4 cars stall out there, but Colton Lane just could not control the car. Carter Friesen barely misses the driver's side, destroys the front end. Dusty Neal hard into the back end. Thankfully, all 4 drivers were able to get out of their race cars and walk away from this incident, but you know that they hit hard. There's Colton Lane further up, but Dusty Neal coming on in. He goes to the outside thinking it's clear. Friesen hits him, and there goes the 94 sliding up. Then Stephen Wallace Jr. comes in, hits him in the front again. Slides him into the 05. So a very hard hit for multiple drivers here. Colton Lane, one of the championship wildcard contenders, as well as Dusty Neal, one of them on the cutoff, involved in this first incident. Lights on the pace car have gone out here at Kentucky. 40 of 81 complete, so we will be going back racing with about 40 laps to go, meaning these guys pit around lap 38, so theoretically, if they could make it to lap 40, they should be good to make it to the end. We'll see, though. We will see. They did all come in on that stop, but no one was coming in, not even at the back, that early in the event. So we could be able to see them make it to the end of the race on this set of pit stops. So Jay Jefferson in the race lead, Peter Onjak in second, Curtis third, Foster fourth, Yepes fifth. The 2 fastest cars for those last few laps in that stint, Peter Onjak, Diego Yepes. They start second and fifth, and now Jay Jefferson doesn't have the 99.50 up there to slow them down. He has to defend against Peter Onjak himself, Diego Yepes himself, as they're going to come on around here, coming through turn number 3 and 4. Coming off of turn 4, we're going to go back racing with 40 laps to go here at Kentucky. Jefferson and Onjak leading us down. The Dodgers have been dominant this season. Let's see what they can do here. Green flag is in the air. We're racing once again at Kentucky. Onjak's all over the back of Jefferson. One of the best opportunities is to dive it to the inside here, and that's what he's going to do with a big push from Foster there. Yepes moving his way into the front as well as Onjak clears Jefferson immediately on that restart. Pulls to the race lead. Foster into second, and now Diego Yepes into third. Burkhardt has already fought his way back into sixth. Cloud starting to drop back on the outside. Cloud gets a shunt from the 25 of Carson Bowers. Larry Hagan's in it. Bowers is around. Cloud's in it as they come through turn 4, and it's a big one. Mayhem on the front straightaway as they all pile in, and that is going to bring us to another caution here. Onjak with a very quick move on the restart snags the lead, but everyone back here is now going to have to try to get themselves righted as they just got that. Man, Bowers just shoved Cloud out of the way, and that caused a chain reaction. Larry Hagan getting spun around, and then everyone just went crazy there, really. And now they're going to bring them on in. Larry Hagan immediately down pit road. The NSDCA is going to have to take a look at that. He just kind of came in and cut across all of pit road there. But yeah, I don't think there's anyone going to be coming to pit now unless you're really trying to top off. Eves has damage. Cloud has damage. So we got a lot to discuss on that one. Carson Bowers now torn up in that as he moved Logan Cloud out of the way. I don't know. Maybe Cloud was a bit slow, and Bowers, you know, he's in a rush to try to make the chase, and it looks like his streak of top 10 finishes is going to go away now as Bowers has some heavy damage there. Austin Murray's coming back in. Not sure if I think he did sustain damage. But Onjak, Foster, Yepes, Jefferson, Curtis, your top 5. We'll go ahead to a quick commercial break. Bring us back to the action after this. Looks like this is the big one today here at Kentucky. Carson Bowers on this restart was going 3 wide, and he's going to look to the inside of Cloud, then just gets into the back of Cloud, shoves that 50 into the outside wall. Further behind, though, Austin Johnson comes right up and turns Larry Hagan Don't know if that car got tight or what, but right in front of the field on a packed up restart. You're not getting through that. You see Jacob Edson, Nicky Morris, Gatlin Downey, Lotus Disburrito, Austin Murray all involved in this. You see Larry was back here minding his own business. Austin Johnson goes straight up the track into the 21, and that's bad too. Colton Lane was involved in an earlier incident. Larry's involved in this one, and these two are the wild card competitors, but you also have Dusty Neal, who was just involved in one with a win this year, and he was right on the cutoff. On board, though, with Jacob Edson, as you see, man, that 25 just takes out the 50, and Logan Cloud, it's not even over for that as he gets piled up in this. Edson makes it through basically cleanly, hits Bowers, sliding on through, can't control the car, hits Antoine Smith, but keeps it on going. On board further back here in the back of the pack, there you see Gatlin Downey in that 35 right in front of him, but it's just 2-3 wide racing on a packed up restart. There's really nowhere to go. Downey just breaks in front of this guy and takes him out. On board with Anderson Reed, he's going to get through it mostly cleanly, though, all over the back of Nicky Morris, and he's at the back on this restart. You see it start to go to crap up front. And there you see he tries to make it through it, gonna cleanly, gives a little tap to Bowers, but it slowed him down enough that he could get through, and there's not too much damage to the front of that car. So a chain reaction here. Multiple drivers getting into each other is going to bring out the big one here in Kentucky for the second caution of the day. Bring us back to the action. The Rockstar Energy 400 after this. Lights of the pace car have gone out this time around. Peter Onjak, your new race leader. Tim Foster, second. Yepes, third. Jefferson, who fell back to fourth on that restart. DJ Curtis, fifth. Brady Burkhart in sixth. Matty Porter, seventh. Eighth is the 55 of Brandon Morris. Ninth is the 83 of Ryan Butcher. And 10th, Alex Benyako. Jose Perez up to 11th. Could he go fourth, 12th? Austin Johnson under some heat from some drivers, including Larry Hagan. After that incident, he's 13th. Riley Spurlertube 14th. Zachary DeLillo 15th. Gibson, Anderson, Yo, Srigley, and Kukul on your top 20 with Reed, Eves, Downey, Cloud, Antoine Smith, Edson, Nicky Morris, and Carson Bowers, the remainder of the field on the track. And behind them, you got Lotus Disburrito now out of this one, Austin Murray out of this one, and the 21 of Larry Hagan out of this one, and the other 4 from the earlier incident also taken out of this event. 45 of 81 complete. On the last restart, we saw Onjak get a push from teammate Foster, who was being pushed by Yepes, and got around Jefferson, dropping Jefferson back to fourth. Now we'll see what will happen on this restart, if anyone will be able to have anything for Onjak and Yepes, who have absolutely charged through the field today. Coming down the front straightaway, green flag is back in the air. 45 of 81 complete here at Kentucky. We're racing once again here at the Rockstar Energy 400. That time Foster looked to the outside, not going to get a move done there, though he's all over the back of Onjak coming out of turn number 2. He wants to make that move stick. Yepes back there in third in the 77. Now you got 3 wide for the 5th position between Burkhart, Curtis, and Porta. Butcher, Morris, and the 29 of Benyako also in the mix as Yepes looking to the inside of Foster coming off the corner. 3 cars under a blanket, nose to tail up in front as they are 3 wide further behind, and it looks like we are going to get that lap done under green, so we are still green here at Kentucky. Yepes now into second. He does not want to be denied this race win. Onjak, Yepes, and Foster, and Porta, the entire top 4 would be repeat winners if they were to win this race. And where did Matty Porta come from? He's up into 4th in the final race, I believe, for the Solana colors in that number 20. DJ Curtis back there in 5th, now looking to the inside of Porta. Not going to happen. Now 3 wide behind him. Jefferson into 6th, but now here comes Yepes in the 77 down to the bottom, trying to win this event. Fighting off 2 Onjak drivers. Onjak on the outside has been charging his way through the field, but he has not passed 30 cars like Yepes has, and Onjak went wide in that corner. Give the lead now to the 77 of Yepes. Foster clearing to second. Matty Porta in the 20 is up here in the 4th position. DJ Curtis 5th. Burkhart back there in 6th trying to go very wide, but look at where did the 55 come from. As we said, Butcher Gatorade Motorsports has won every other race for the last 6 races, starting out all the way back at Darlington with the 55. Now we are going to see if Yepes or Morris can win another race here at Kentucky. You got Foster and Onjak in 2nd and 3rd, 4th Matty Porta, and 5th DJ Curtis. Cody Goforth up to 10th, Jose Perez in 11th, Zachary DeLello in 12th as they continue on. Riley Spurleytube on the very inside in that 61 car, trying to make some moves happen there in this mid-pack scuffle that's basically happening back here. And you see the top group has pulled away. They are right now a couple guys side by side as Jose Perez into the inside wall. Vicious hit back into Sebastian Kukulon. And that's going to be another caution there. Heavy hit for the 63. The 12 is torn up, and we are under caution. Matty Porta trying to race it back. Yepes out in front, and that hit, oh my gosh, that is a vicious hit for the 63. Rest of the field's coming back around very slowly, but Jose Perez just took a hard hit. Sebastian Kukulon pretty much had nowhere to go in that, and man, Jose, we gotta hope that he is okay after that one. That was a hard hit to the driver's side. It looked like he got hooked down the front straightaway and ended up just back into traffic, and again, Kukulon just had nowhere to go. And it looks like cautions breeding cautions. We had the first, we had about a 40-lap stint to open this race with some great racing, some great passing, and now it's crash after crash here as these guys, you know, they know that it's hard to pass when the race starts getting strung out, so maybe they're trying to keep it together to gain some spots. Max Anderson bringing that 36 down pit road. Gatlin Downey also coming down pit road. A lot of torn-up race cars here, but that's, you know, that's Cup Series racing this year for you. A lot of torn-up race cars, but Jose Perez, Sebastian Kukulon, you just gotta hope for Jose as they're trying to get him out of his race car. We're gonna go ahead, take a quick commercial break, but we will get you a replay and then get you back to the action here at the Rockstar Energy 400. This crash, you know, it's just, you know, gets hooked straight left, and that hit is hard, especially to the driver's side at 170. You know, these cars are safe, the sides, the roof, the front, but man, you just got to hope for Jose there. Got hit by Austin Johnson in the 95, and Spurleytube was down below. You know, there's really nowhere Spurleytube can go. He doesn't know he's about to get turned right across and just slams him into the side. Thankfully, he gets hit in the rear and passenger side by Kukulon. It's a hard hit for Sebi, too. Both drivers have not been taken out of their cars yet, but crews are working to get them both out. But you just see the 63 turn straight across. Vicious hit. We got to hope Jose's okay. These cars are safe, you know. The sides, you know, you can take a lot of force to the sides, but when it's a driver's side hit like that, it is extremely hard. Hoping Jose Perez will be okay. Bring you guys back after this to Kentucky. Under a red flag here at Kentucky as the track crew tries to clean up the mess that was made down in turn number 1 by Jose Perez. Sebastian Kukulon was able to get out of his car under his own power, but was seen walking with a limp to the ambulance. However, Jose Perez, he was not able to get out under his own power as he was knocked unconscious, but the crews did get him out, and he has reportedly gained consciousness on the way back to the hospital that they are taking him after that incident. We will get a further update on his condition shortly, but it is a very scary incident here at Kentucky. Hopefully that Jose Perez and his family will be okay. Cars have begun to pace around here at Kentucky as we go after a lengthy red flag situation here in the middle part of this race. Further update on Jose Perez. It appears that he has multiple broken ribs from the impact to the wall. Of course, we saw in the replay it was a vicious hit. Thankfully, he is okay, but this might take him out from future events for a little bit. The doctors are still having him in surgery right now, trying to fix those broken ribs and seeing if there is anything else that is an issue there. Of course, with an impact like that into the driver's side, vicious hit. You know, we've made these cars as safe as can be, but sometimes, you know, they can't. There's just freak accidents that happen, and we've seen a lot of those in the last year, the NSDCA, so we do not want to have to see them again. So hopefully, especially coming up to Indianapolis next week, hopefully that the safety measures are being followed there as well, especially after the incident a couple of years back that took place there in the off season. and of course at the Indy 500 this year as well. But we got a lot of drivers still ready to go on. These guys are racers. They know what they got to do. And thankfully, Jose Perez is okay for the most part. He is injured, but, you know, we narrowly avoided a big catastrophic issue there. Sebastian Kukulon, thankfully, has made it to the hospital, and he is just getting checked. He has been released, but he does have a limp, so they gave him a crutch and two. But we are ready to go back racing here at Kentucky, and hopefully these guys can keep it clean now. We've had 3 cautions back to back to back. These guys getting aggressive as well. Austin Johnson and the 95 team have been called to the hauler after the race, have been called with team boss as well as the crew chief and the spotter for that 95 team. But the NSDCA did say to watch it or you will be parked from this event. So we'll see. Hopefully Austin Johnson will be able to be clean now. He has been a major part in both of the last 2 incidents. But Jose Perez, you know, again, before we go green, just keep him in your thoughts and prayers. Thankfully, he was at least awake and alert, and will hopefully be able to heal his injuries to his ribs, get himself back into the truck and car soon enough. But Diego Yepes, Tim Foster, Peter Onjak, Matty Porta, and DJ Curtis are the 5 that are going to decide this race victory right here. Possibly coming down to take the green flag. We're racing again. Curtis with a major block on Burkhart, and we are back racing at Kentucky. And further back, man, Burkhart got blocked up the track by Curtis. Now Curtis is going to be the one dropping back. Burkhart up the middle. Morris into the back of Curtis, giving him a little nudge there, maybe for blocking his buddy Brady. But up in front, Tim Foster not letting Yepes get away that easily. He's right on the back of him. Now looking to the inside of Diego. Let's see if he could make it work, make it stick. Down to the bottom. Here they go. Coming off the corner. Can Foster make it happen on the inside line? Coming across the line. He leads that lap. And now the 40 team trying to get back to the point where they should have started this race. Onjak and Porta slideways there in the 20 and 44 as Porta just roughed that 44 up to get by him. Now Porta's clear into third. They're 4 wide further back. 3 wide now as Yepes dives back to the inside on Foster, looking for the crossover, throws it in, and he should, and it's going to clear Foster if he can keep it coming off the corner. Now does Tib have any answer for that? Porta clear into third. He's looking to go 2 in a row this season in that number 20 car. If you saw the Carbondale event, Eli Bright went back-to-back from Nashville to Carbondale. Now Porta trying to mimic that and be a 3-time winner this season. Onjak in 4th, Burkhart 5th. Now you got the battle for 6th heating up between, look at Brandon Morris in the 55. Started this race in the back with Yepes. Didn't have a good start to this race, but he has fixed that car, and he's inside the top 6. Jefferson now into 7th, Curtis 8th, Goforth 9th, and look at Alex Benyako fighting there in the 29. The car behind him is Ryan Butcher. Butcher not returning to that car. Benyako will be in that 83 next season. So this is a pretty good audition if he's beating the driver of the 83 that is currently in that ride. But you see the top 11 basically have spread out single file. Spurley clear to 12th, Gibson 13th, Yo 14th, Austin Johnson 15th, Anderson Reed 16th, Matthew Eves 17th, DeLello 18th, Srigley up to 19th, and Max Anderson rounding out your top 20. Cloud fighting in 21st, 22nd Antoine Smith, 23rd Edson, 24th Downey, 25th Bowers, 26th Nicky Morris. That is the rest of this track, as it looks like that would be 9 cars out of this one so far. And hopefully now, if they can single file out like this, race it to the end. We saw them run green in the opening stint when they spread out, so we might see some green flag racing to the end here. Yepes running the outside, Foster running a bit lower. He's been running that lower line for a good majority of this race, and you see how much he actually gained there. So again, as we said, the outside or inside line both work here at Kentucky if you can make it stick. It just depends on how you drive that inside or outside. Now Foster going to look a little higher. Here comes Morris in the 55. I don't know what juice Butcher Gatorade Motorsports has put into that 77 and 55, but they are rockets here in the closing laps, and they have been this whole race. Both the 77 and 55 have moved their way through the field. Now Burkhart trying to hold off the 55. Looks like Onjak's car starting to fade. We saw he had a long run car more likely as that as that opening stint progressed, and it looks like the short run speed might not be the best for that team right now as he sits in that 6th position, about to go to lose another spot to Jay Jefferson. But up in front, Yepes trying to hang on over Foster, Porta, Burkhart, and Morris. Looking further back, you got Benyako maintaining a top 10. Gibson now fighting Austin Johnson, and again, Johnson has to play a bit nice now, or there could be big trouble coming to that 95 team. But still, he can fight for those positions all he wants. You know, you can't be aggressive. He doesn't want to get into, move, or spin someone out again. But you can still race. You can still try to cut them off. You can still, you know, try to make passes. Just make sure you can do them as clean as possible for Johnson right now. He is inside the top 15, so it's still a good day for the 95 team nonetheless. And as you see, it looks like the top 20 are all that's left without damage. So it looks like Joseph Strigley Racing might have just lost a car and a potential driver for a couple races this season. But the 36 and 33 right now inside that top 20. Looking further back, Nicky Morris is last, and I don't know what just happened up front, but we are under war as Brady Burkhart's now into the lead. Porta's in 2nd, Yepes 3rd, Foster 4th, Morris back to 5th, and we have a dogfight going on up front. And now Burkhart has taken the lead away from Yepes. Porta was in the mix. They were 3 wide coming down the front straightaway. Foster's 4th, Morris in 5th. But now can Brady hang on up front to try to win this one? No, Yepes is going to full send in there. Didn't even break until he went by Brady, and now Yepes back to the race lead. It's 3 Toyotas, 3 Dodges up front, really, and then there's or 2 Dodges, and then you got the 2 Dodges and a Chevy a bit further back. But these guys are going at it for the race win now, with still over 20 or under 20 laps to go in this event. You got to start making your moves now, because again, it's hard to pass here, so you got to set yourself up perfectly as you still have time to run this. But Yepes now starting to pull away. Porta trying to hang on as Burkhart's going to carry back to the outside. Foster now throws and goes up on Jack, so that's going to clear on Jack or Foster into the 5th position. But this is now going to war up in front. Yepes, Burkhart, Morris, the 3 Toyotas. Now Porta, the lone Dodge, as Foster has fallen back to the clutches of Jefferson, Onjack, and Curtis. But Diego Yepes in the 77 beginning to pull away here in the closing laps and trying to snag his 2nd win of the season and move himself up even further in the point standings. Porta back there in 2nd now. Burkhart trying the crossover. Morris 4th, Foster 5th. Look at Cody Goforth hanging on to the top 10. Benyako just lost the spot to Butcher, but still that is a very strong performance in this 29 team today. But Cody Goforth is a driver fighting for the chase. He is 12th in points. He was in the chase for a bit this season, but now has fallen out and would not be in the chase because he does not have a win this season, and it would go to the 2 wild cards. However, Colton Lane and Larry Hagan have both crashed out of this one. That could be a major opportunity for both of them to possibly lose out of the top 10 or top 12 top 20 in points and possibly lose their wild card spot. But you also got drivers Dusty Neal and Carter Friesen who have crashed out of this event, and they're probably going to be falling outside of the top 10 in points, meaning they'll pick up those wild cards. So this could be even worse for Larry Hagan and Colton Lane as they run right now. Burkhart now looking for 2nd on Porta as Yepes has absolutely left. These guys are in a war amongst themselves as Diego has now pulled out to a massive lead over the 99, the 55, and we're coming down. We're just a few laps away from 10 to go. I don't know if that 99 will be able to catch him, but if anyone can, it might have to be Brady in that Juniper Toyota Camry. Porta clears into 3rd, Morris 4th, Jefferson 5th as they start to spread out. But Yepes now up to 1.17. He actually lost 0.2 to Brady there. So Burkhart could be gaining a little bit in that 99. We'll have to see if he can catch him here in these closing laps at Kentucky. And Jefferson back in 5th, Foster 6th, Onjack 7th, Curtis 8th as they come down the backstretch. And now Foster looking for that 5th position on Jefferson, trying to get a top 5 for this team. Again, last week at Old Spice, he ran out of fuel at the end, really. Was one of the only 2 that ran out of fuel with Hagan. And he ended up, losing that race, which he should have run. So that really stung. But right now inside the top 10, fuel, again, hopefully will last. Morris now clears Porta by a long shot. But if the fuel lasts, he could still come out of this with a top 10 finish. right now, but I think if anyone's going to run out of fuel, it might be Yepes, because he is just putting the pedal to the metal right now, trying to pull away from Burkhardt. Flyby as they come on out. There's Yepes, Burkhardt, Morris, your top 3, Jefferson and Porta, your top 5. Benyako and Butcher fighting just outside the top, or just inside and outside the top 10. The rest of the field cycling on around with Joseph Strigley now, who has fallen back to the 20th position. Heading on through, there you see Nicky Morris in the 87. He's a Shade Burkhardt racing driver with some heavy damage from earlier in this event. You see the hood buckled on that. It's damaged, you know, the internal workings of that 87, so he's much slower. So this could be big. Yepes, you know, is an alliance partner, but that is Brady Burkhardt, the points leader and the SBR driver without a win this season, right behind Diego. So if Diego can make short work of Nicky, it'll be easy. But now this might hold up Yepes just a little bit coming off of the corner, and he's going to have to go to the inside of Nicky, and that will blow right by him. So does not look like Yepes lost too much time there. Now we got to see how the 99 and 55 work their way around the 87. But the fact that Brady's running the inside line so often and Yepes is running the middle, that's really allowing him to pull away. But now you got Bowers, a slow car. There's Edson and Downey back there as well, Antoine Smith. So Yepes might be having to deal with a bit of lap traffic as this race progresses. It's now opened up to 1.7 seconds between them, so I don't think that 99 has the power underneath him to take this race victory away from Yepes. But, you know, a second place finish isn't all that bad. But again, this will be the 14th straight race this season that he has ran well and pretty much lost the race, really, with how good his season's been. But you also got to think back there, you're fighting for a regular season title, and the guy behind you in that third position is second in points, and the guy behind him in that fourth position is third in points, with Porta, who is fourth in points. It looks like he has some damage to the right side. It looked like he did. Yay, Porta has some right side damage. We'll have to see where that came from, but Porta's fourth in points, and the 77 of Yepes is fifth in points. So right now, the top 5 in points, the worst driver right now is Matty Porta back there in the 8th position, and the rest of them are inside the top 4. So this regular season title is probably going to come down to these 4 drivers and maybe Porta. You got Curtis in 6th. Curtis is 9th in points, but this should be a good day to turn his luck around. But you see Yepes now, they got to work their way around defending truck champion Carson Bowers. And Burkhardt, if he can get to the bottom, not going to happen, man. I don't know why Brady's running the bottom. It's been slowing him down this whole time. He has to get up top. Now he's blocked by Bowers. I don't think he's going to catch up. You know, he gained a couple tenths there on Yepes last time, but with only that much left, 1.3 seconds, he lost a tenth there. I don't think Burkhardt has anything for the 77 of Yepes. Maybe the 55 could if he really tries to get around that 99, but he really can't. Foster and Jefferson battling for 4th. But it's all Diego Yepes out in front. Coming around, this should be 5 laps to go here at Kentucky. But again, I can't stress it enough. As many times as you've seen in the NSDCA this year, cautions screw up pit strategy and end up screwing up the end of the race. Plus, you got green-white checkers to worry about. So what I'm looking at here, you know, Yepes has this race in the bag unless they run out of fuel. And since the fuel window wasn't entirely known because practice wasn't ran that often on a full fuel run, these guys are pretty much going to have to hope and pray that they got enough to the end. These guys know if they have enough to the end or not. And as we're coming to the end of this race, we'll hope, you know, that no one will run out of fuel. I know some of the fans probably sitting in the stands hoping that this number 77 does, because you got 2 drivers at the back there. Burkhardt, maybe you don't want to have a win. But you got the 55, 48, 44 behind, all trying to get that 99 in the point standings. And that could be a big opportunity for these guys if the fuel comes into play at the end. But now Morris looking to the inside of Burkhardt. This is for that second position. Who would have guessed, if you looked at the inaugural season of the NSDCA 6 years ago in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, that these two, the 99 and 55 drivers, would be leading the Cup Series point standings 6 years later? Burkhardt was a crash magnet back then, and he was bad. He was just straight bad in that 99. And Morris wasn't a crash magnet. He just ran poorly. And Morris has really ran poorly his whole career, except for maybe the one truck season when he made the chase. Burkhardt had the one chance at a championship in season number 4 2 years ago when he tried to beat Yepes, and of course the whole Kansas scandal there that was caused by Morris trying to help, obviously, Brady get the championship. So these two being the top two in the Cup Series standings is a big surprise to anyone who has been in the NSDCA for so long. But now down the back straightaway, we're going to have one more time around, this time by the Gatorade Cheetos number 77. Butcher Gatorade Motorsports has won 3 of the last 6. Each of them have been in a pattern. It was Morris at Darlington, then a break, then Yepes at Pocono, then another break, then Morris at Nashville. We had a break at Old Spice, and now coming through turn number 2, Yepes wants to get this race win and put 4 wins for Toyota, 4 wins for Butch Gatorade Motorsports. Morris has lost Burkhardt, so it looks like it's a top 3 spread out here. But coming off of turn 3 and 4, he just has 2 more corners to go. Off of the corner, it will be Yepes, Diego Yepes in the 77, taking his 2nd win of the season. Yepes wins it at Kentucky. Burkhardt 2nd, Morris 3rd, Jefferson 4th, Foster comes home 5th, Porta is going to come home 8th, Butcher 9th, and Cody Goforth snags the final top 10 spot. Benyako drops back to 12th. Rest of the field coming on by, so at least they were clean to the end, and it looks like the 20th place finish is going to go to 33 of Joseph Strigley. But now Butcher Gatorade Motorsports solidifying themselves as a possible top-tier team in the NSDCA. 4 wins this season, the most out of any team in the garage area. And now Toyota maybe has to start questioning who should be the leader of that alliance partnership, and that, you know, the leader of Toyota, because their Cup program is very much outclassing SBR. SBR does have points leader Brady Burkhardt, you see there, who has just extended his points lead maybe by about 2 or 3 points. But SBR has 0 wins. BGM has 4. Both of them are in the chase. Only one SBR driver is in the chase. So whatever it is, this was a pretty entertaining race, except of course for that one scary incident with Jose Perez. And again, we put our best wishes to him as he will be recovering from those injuries that he just sustained earlier in this event. However, he is at the hospital and talking to his family, so hopefully we'll get a better report later for that. But a vicious hit for Jose Perez might overshadow this, but Yepes had a great battle. He fought his way to the race lead from 30th on the grid, and what a race we had. There was a lot of battling, a lot of good racing, and the strategy didn't come from pit road. It more came from which line would you take to try to catch people. And certainly that multi-groove racing from top to bottom was very, very nice to see. The lights have gone down at Kentucky, and so has our race, as this one is over, and it is Diego Yepes in victory lane. An exciting race was had here at Kentucky. Would be happy to come back here again, but they might have to take a look at some of the safety issues that could be sustained here at this racetrack. We head out to Indianapolis for the patriotic race next time, and that's a track where we really want to see some safe racing. Hopefully we will see some great racing there in our final patriotic race of the season, so the red, white, and blue schemes from Texas World will come back out. Thank you guys so much for watching here at Kentucky for the Sundrop Cup Series, and we'll see you guys next time on the NSDCA.